Another white male reviewer talking about a show that wasn't made for them? That's me. HBO Max is here. And from my perspective, it's basically just HBO with more movies. And that's pretty cool in my opinion. But they did bring the launch of a new show with 3 episodes, and that's Love Life, starring Anna Kendrick, who to me is someone who has trouble picking good projects because she's a pretty decent actress. I always feel like she either doesn't know how to pick good scripts or she's just more focused on being the center of attention in whatever project she chooses, so she doesn't pick the scripts that would, maybe be a better role overall because it's a better film. But I have thoughts on this new show, but before I get into my thoughts on the first 3 episodes, if you're new to the channel and if you're interested in seeing more reviews like this one, I highly recommend subscribing. I'm going to be reviewing Space Force on Friday, and I'm going to be finishing up the finale of Defending Jacob sometime on Friday as well, I hope. So, getting into Love Life, which, if I had to describe it in just like 2 words, I would say it's crass and sweet. And I feel like it's kind of an odd combination because I feel like this is exactly the kind of show that a lot of women will love. And some women won't be bothered by the crassness, but I feel like a lot will because it's definitely in surprising territory. I mean, it's really not discernibly different in content than most other HBO shows, even though it's not nearly as prestigious. It feels much more like one of AT&T's originals that they have under their DirecTV Now banner. And obviously, the idea with this show is that we're going to follow Darby in New York, and obviously played by Anna Kendrick in New York City. I don't know why every show is set in New York City. It gets a little boring after a while. And basically, the first 3 episodes, each episode we follow her with a different guy and how they shape her overall love story. And the idea behind this series is that it's going to be an anthology series. Every season is going to follow a different person. In this season, obviously, we're following Darby. And I like it. It's very entertaining. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel, which is why I think a lot of people will dislike it. Lately, I've seen this trend where if a show is just trying to be a standard version of a genre, for instance, Defending Jacob is just a standard crime show, then people really hate on it. And to me, it's like, what are you expecting? Are you expecting it to reinvent the wheel? This is a romance story, and I get that we live in a new age and that a lot has changed, and this show doesn't really have a lot to say about that, in my opinion. Like, some of the stuff comes off as very modern. Some aspects of the story, the technology, the way that the characters interact, it feels modern in some ways, but in others it just feels very old-fashioned and like it doesn't really have anything new to say about the genre. It's got this keen awareness of romance film tropes, but it's not doing anything to sidestep those tropes so far, which I find kind of an odd approach. Anna Kendrick is just breezily charming. If you like Anna Kendrick, you're going to love her here. She's not really doing anything she hasn't done in other worse shows and worse movies. I think this is probably in the upper range of the things that she's done lately because everything she's done lately has been so bad. So this is, it's frothy entertainment. It's like sometimes you don't want a substantive meal. Sometimes you don't want a dark, bleak prestige drama. Sometimes you don't want something that focuses on the internal lives of people. Sometimes you just want a frothy, light entertainment like a Frappuccino from Starbucks, and if that's what you're looking for, this fits the bill perfectly. There's not really a whole lot else to say about this. I mean, I think that it's got a relatively good cast. There's actors that I've enjoyed in other works like Jen Ha. Lesley Manville plays this narrator who kind of gives us insight into the world a little bit, but not necessarily super necessary narration, but she kind of tells you what the broader themes of Darby's life are as she goes about her day. We've got Scoot McNairy as another one of Darby's romantic interests, and these actors are both well cast. They had good chemistry. with Darby. They were both written reasonably, and I appreciated that the reasons that the relationships ultimately didn't work out, and this isn't really a spoiler, it's pretty obvious from the beginning that every relationship in the first few episodes is not going anywhere. But I appreciated that the reason these relationships fell apart wasn't really because of miscommunication. It was because of deeper issues. It was about genuine compatibility issues. It doesn't really portray the characters' internal lives at all, and the dialogue can often be so saccharine and try hard to be funny that I find myself confused as to whether or not they're serious or if they're being sarcastic. But sometimes they were clearly serious, but the lines sounded so cloying that I thought that they had to be being sarcastic, but they weren't. They were completely serious. So you know yourself better than I know you. I'm not saying this is a great show. I'm not saying that this is a knock it out of the ballpark hit, but I think this is really fun. And if you're interested in just a frothy romantic comedy, I'm just going to keep using that word because it's very apt for this show, this fits the bill. Try it out. Let me know in the comments what you think of Love Life. Let me know if you hate romantic comedies, if you appreciate Anna Kendrick's other films, and what you're looking for in a show of this type, if you think that it should be more groundbreaking, and if so, why? Let me know your thoughts, and as always, you can watch more videos right now.